And for people claiming that there was no autopsy done, those people are either ignorant or they are willfully creating conspiracies. The autopsy yielded where the entry wound was and how the bullet killed him. It's already been determined. They found the bullet lodged in his body. They have all of that investigated through an autopsy, and it's given over to the FBI. So they know exactly what happened to Charlie.
As we continue to pursue this Charlie Kirk psyop plot slop, we now have Brandon Soften Him Up Tatum telling us that he has insider information that the autopsy was performed on Charlie Kirk, and they did indeed find the bullet lodged in his body. And then he's going to do something else and say something else that we really need to take a look at. Watch this.
I confirmed, obviously, because I have connections, and I confirmed that the autopsy was done. I don't want to say too much, but the autopsy yielded where the entry wound was and how the bullet killed him. It's already been determined. They found the bullet lodged in his body. They can tell you exactly where, what was severed, what killed him, where the bullet traveled from his neck down through his body. They have it all, fragmentation of the round that spouted through his body. They have all of that investigated through an autopsy, and it's given over to the FBI. So they know exactly what happened to Charlie.
All right, now watch this right here. He is selling all of these Charlie Kirk products, and he says that 100% of the proceeds are going to go to Erica Kirk so that she can do with this money whatever she wants to. Erica Kirk is rich beyond what you and I can possibly comprehend. Charlie Kirk was worth, his net worth was about $12 million when he died. Erica Kirk lives in the house that Charlie and she shared, $5.4 million. She has this whole circle of friends that are very wealthy. TPUSA pulls in over $84 million a year, and they're projecting by 2026 that's going to be over $100 million. They have 500,000 donors. They've sold over 530,000 products since Charlie died less than a month ago, raking in a whole bunch of cash. There's a Give, Send, Go, and there's a PayPal account set up in Erica Kirk's name. The Give, Send, Go, last I looked at it, had over $5.4 million, and I haven't even looked at the PayPal one. Listen to what he says here.
Tell you what, we sourced these tumblers, and then we sourced it from a guy who's an American patriot. But bro, these are the best quality tumblers that I have ever got my hands on. Boy, if y'all don't get that, and just know when you do get it, 100% of the profit will go to Charlie Kirk's family. And we're trying to raise, my goal was to raise $1 million for his family. And that's why we continue to push the products, even though we give 100% of the profit to them, because my goal is to get to $1 million so I can write Erica Kirk a check for $1 million on our behalf.
We want to give this millionaire actress, a multi-million-dollar actress, another $1 million.
Us write that check, and she can decide where it goes. Because one thing you guys got to realize is that although people think in their mind Charlie Kirk is rich, probably, well, Charlie Kirk when he's alive is rich, but Charlie Kirk when he's not alive, a lot of future income and income that was coming in ain't coming in. I want y'all to understand that Charlie Kirk had a show, he was on TV, he had all kind of stuff going on.
And now Erica Kirk has a show. I don't know what he's talking about on TV, but Erica Kirk has a whole lot of stuff going on. She's surrounded by a crazy amount of wealthy people. She has access to the President of the United States. She can fly on Air Force One if she wants to. She has a red carpet rolled out for her wherever she goes. And Brandon Tatum wants to add to her stack.
And now that he's gone, they're not going to just, it's a dirty game out here. Now that Charlie Kirk is gone, they're not finna feel sorry for his family. They're not going to keep his show going on television. They're not going to do it.
What?
They're going to give it a while, and they're going to replace him with somebody else that they can make money with. And it's unfortunate, but this is why I feel like it's invaluable for us to raise money and support his family.
Where did he miss the news brief that Erica Kirk was appointed the head of TPUSA? An organization that is slated to earn over $100 million next year.
Family, because there is unrealized gains. Charlie Kirk would have probably written 50 more books. Charlie Kirk would have probably been the president one day. Charlie Kirk would have done so many amazing things and built the empire even bigger than it is today, but he's gone. And God bless Erica, but Erica is not Charlie. And there's certain things Charlie can do that nobody else can do in the world. And so that's why I feel compelled to support him using our resources and being able to get his wife a pretty nice check for their family, or if she want to donate to Turning Point or whatever the case may be, we all are going to contribute to that. So go and support today. We almost caught up with all the orders. So just know that we're getting ready to take the pre-order setting off, and we'll be able to just send it to you without you waiting 2 to 3 weeks.
What is it?
Think about this. If you had $12 million sitting in your bank account, you could put that in a money market account earning 4 or 5%, and you could literally live very, very comfortably off the interest. If Erica Kirk didn't make any more money from this point forward, she's got enough cash to last her for the rest, for 5 lifetimes. Brandon Tatum is a millionaire as well. These people live on a completely different level. They are doing different things. They have access to things that you and I don't have. They are in the big club. And they want everybody else who doesn't have a whole lot of money to buy their products or just shovel out a whole bunch of Give, Send, Go and GoFundMe money to rich, multi-millionaire Erica Kirk. Now listen to this right here.
The odds that there was no autopsy performed.
It probably would be the first time in modern history in the United States of America that an autopsy wouldn't be performed on a person who got killed. You know, every single person that is killed, there is an autopsy done, no matter if you're a celebrity or not. How do I know? Because every person that had been killed when I was a cop, I go down to the morgue and you know, we had to do the whole rigmarole. And that person, due to an investigation or potential future investigation, there has to be a determination of cause of death. So,
and if you look it up, a large percentage of homicide victims, it's 97% last I looked, will get an autopsy performed on them.
Go and do a autopsy. And the only exception of an autopsy is a person dying from natural causes. But when you are involved in an investigatory death, which means somebody killed you or your death was mysterious or there could be an assailant associated to your death, 100% of the time you get an autopsy. And I confirmed, obviously, because I had
close to 100%
of connections, and I confirmed that the autopsy was done after I made the video. But I just knew just on police, my police experience, and everybody that works in the hospital know exactly that I was telling the truth. That's why you see a bunch of nurses and doctors in the comment section saying this is 100% true. There is law. You cannot not do an autopsy in a murder trial by law. The hospital has to do it. And one of the reasons for doing that, and you watched the video, but for the audience, is that you got to have evidence for a trial. When you go to trial, you have to prove that this person did it beyond a reasonable doubt. And you have to, in your affidavit, if you write down that the person was killed by this weapon, you got to have evidence that the person died from that weapon. It's not just an assumption. It's not just because he was on top of the roof and he fired the gun. That could be circumstantial evidence, but you need hardcore evidence that the round that they found in his body traced back to that specific gun. And then that gun was placed, operated by a person on the roof that you see running and ditching a gun and Discord messages. You have to put all that together, or you will develop, or it could be developed, reasonable doubt. And if there's any reasonable doubt, then the person is not going to go to jail. And you can let murderers get off all the time. And I'll give you another example. If a person wants to do something nefarious to their spouse, right? You poison them, you do something like that, they die, and you're like, oh, I don't know, he had a heart attack. They're not going to just take your word for it and say, oh, yeah, take him to the funeral home. No. If a person died, anything could have been afoot, which means that there's no real reason why the person died. They take him in and they give him an autopsy. And for people claiming that there was no autopsy done, those people are either ignorant or they are willfully creating conspiracies, because I have noticed that conspiracies make you money. Every person that I've seen that have blasted crazy conspiracies, the lapel mic is the one that killed him. Israel did it. Turning Point USA has something to do with it. The video guy was covering up information. I mean, they get 3,000 views, 10,000 views. When they talk about this, they get 100,000 views. They get 1 million views. And therefore, people are willing for financial.
When Brandon Tatum talks about this, he gets, 781,000 views because he's spewing the official government story. And that is one of the things that gets views. Do the conspiracy theorists also get views? Well, you can call them conspiracy theorists, or you can just call them regular Americans who really want the answers and don't want to be lied to by government agencies.
Gain to go down a rabbit hole that is completely ridiculous. And the sad part is, for people that knew Charlie, and that work with Turning Point to say conspiracy theories about his team and about the video guys and all this is even worse. These people, I know all these people at Turning Point. I've been working with them since 2017, almost 10 years. And I know each and every person that was involved, each and every person that was on that film. I don't know all the security guys, but I know at least 3 or 4 of them that I saw. I know some of the people that were standing, like Frank Turk. I know some of those people personally. There is no way whatsoever that any one of these people would want to see Charlie Kirk die. Charlie Kirk was the lifeline of Turning Point USA. Everybody's job, everybody's future was dependent on Charlie Kirk at Turning Point USA. Now, I believe God can put Erica in a position to help sustain what Charlie has built, but nobody can be Charlie. And it's like committing, I would say committing career and business suicide if you were to participate in Charlie's demise.
I mean, the theory of the shot coming from behind seems to be logically disproven by what you just said. Like it seems like
not only logically, there was an autopsy done.
Right.
And there is no entry, and this is not an exit wound, according to the autopsy, which is very clear. But people, for some reason, they don't want to believe that the autopsy is there. The autopsy yielded, they found out, and I don't want to say too much, but the autopsy yielded where the entry wound was and how the bullet killed him. It's already been determined. They found the bullet lodged in his body. They can tell you exactly where, what was severed.
So Brandon has the insider information according to the autopsy, according to him. He says he has knowledge. He has firsthand knowledge that it was done and the bullet is inside of Charlie Kirk.
What killed him, where the bullet traveled from his neck down through his body. They have it all, fragmentation of the round that spouted through his body. They have all of that investigated through an autopsy and it's given over to the FBI. So they know exactly what happened to Charlie. It is no question that there was no entry wound anywhere else in his body. There's no question. And people still push it.
Yeah, people are going to claim that the FBI are lying.
Brandon Tatum, just to be clear, is sticking with the official government story that Charlie Kirk was shot in the neck at 140 yards by a .30-06, and that this was an entry wound by Tyler Robinson. But he's not done yet.
Yeah, but
I don't know how to respond to that.
Well, Warren, it's like it's too complex because the FBI in DC isn't the FBI in Salt Lake City, and the coroner's office isn't associated with the federal government whatsoever. And so and the doctor isn't really associated, who operated on Charlie, isn't associated with the coroner's office. These are different agencies that we're talking about. Now, the FBI is connected, but Kesh Patel have no idea what they were investigating when they initially went to investigate in Salt Lake City at his death.
How does he know that? Where's he get? Is he just making stuff up?
Who put the crime scene tape up, who collected evidence, the people who collected the gun, all of those people were Salt Lake City FBI division. That's not DC FBI. So Kesh Patel is not privy to everything that they're doing. They're operating according to the way they should operate on any investigation.
How is he privy to everything they're doing? He's saying Kesh Patel isn't privy. How's he privy that Kesh Patel isn't privy?
There could be a conglomerate approach where at some point they let Kesh Patel know where they are at in the investigation, but Kesh Patel can't tell you the person that collected the rifle. Kesh Patel can't coordinate what the chain of custody was. Because when you do stuff like collecting a rifle, an individual with a badge number or an employee number has to get the product, put it in a bag. He has to sign off after securing the product or securing the evidence that he is the one that secured the evidence. He has to take that evidence, document it in a supplementary case report to document what he did, storing it in his vehicle, in the trunk, in the front seat. He has to explain all of this in a supplementary report. Then he has to take it to a facility
it's called chain of custody. And I'm sure that we can trust the FBI's chain of custody in the Charlie Kirk incident.
It's not associated with the FBI. It is
when nothing they said about this story makes sense. But wait till we get to did they break the gun down? Didn't they break the gun down? He's got all this insider information.
Lab. And then he put it in the system and the system checks it in and he gives his sign off on paperwork that it was him and he transferred it. And he, through penalty of perjury that he was the only one that had custody of it. There's a seal on the product that he signed his name over. And it goes through a whole process, and then it's loaded into the system, and then there's a person on the other side that has to sign off that they received it, and they took it to a lab, and they test fired 3 times, and it's complicated stuff here.
So there's 2 big questions floating around, right? The first one, so we have, how did he break down the rifle in that amount of time as a police officer? Do you have any insight on that? Like Rob O'Neill, the guy who shot Bin Laden last night on Pierce Morgan's, like it would take him 5 minutes, he's claiming.
Yeah, the FBI came back and said he never broke the gun down. That was a preliminary statement that was made, but the FBI came back and cleared it up that he never broke the gun down. It's not a thing anymore. So, which would make
Brandon Tatum is saying that the FBI is now saying that Tyler Robinson didn't break the gun down. This gun is 42 to 44 inches long, depending on the barrel length. So then how did Tyler Robinson get on the roof and come off the roof with this gun? Because, it's being implied that he broke it down, at least initially, that he broke it down. And then he got up on top of the roof of the Lucy building, and he put it back together with that screwdriver, somehow zeroed it back in, took the shot, broke it down, got off the roof, put it back together, wrapped it in a towel, threw it into the wooded area. That's what we've been told. And now Brandon Tatum is saying that the FBI came back and said, oh, it didn't happen like that. Do an internet search right now. Ask Grok, ask a search engine. Did the FBI come back and say that Tyler Robinson did not break down the gun? They haven't said that. They haven't issued that statement. I don't know what Brandon Tatum is talking about here. Let's say he didn't break that gun down. How did he get a 42 to 44 inch long rifle on top of the roof without anybody noticing? And if you're going to say, well, he shoved it down his pants, it's hard enough to shove just the barrel down your pants and then put the stock in a different part on your body. And if you look at all the photographic evidence, there's no indication that if that person is Tyler Robinson, that he even has a firearm on him, let alone a 42 to 44 inch unbroken down rifle.
Makes sense, because you can't break a 30-06 down like that. I mean, and then you think you'll break the 30-06 down, and then you're going to put it back together and fire it, and it's going to fire properly, or it's, you're going to get an accurate shot. That nobody in the world would do that. You would never, you never break your gun down and put it back together and then fire it right after that and think you're going to get an accurate shot.
So unwittingly, Brandon Tatum is delegitimizing the FBI's official story that he broke it down, put it back together, broke it down, put it back together.
He wouldn't have done that strategically, and the FBI has come out since. But people are not paying attention. They're pushing.
The FBI has come out, Brandon. Where?
They're pushing these messages, and they're not doing a real deep dive. So the FBI did come out and debunk that and say that they do not believe that he actually broke the gun down.
Yeah, that's why it's so important. I'm so excited to be able to talk to you, because you have.
Why isn't he doing a follow-up question? This guy's name is Warren Smith. Why hasn't he asked Brandon Tatum, okay, you're saying that the FBI is saying that he didn't break the gun down, then how in the heck, when you see the photographic evidence that the FBI put out for fake stream media, how do you explain this guy walking up the steps? Where's the gun? Where's the 42 to 44 inch gun, Brandon?
Have that unique perspective. I don't know. I don't really know anyone making content that has that perspective. And you made an interesting comment. You're like, do you all want to jeopardize this trial? Do you want to jeopardize the evidence? And you were like, I am this close to going all in.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask you, what does all in look like for you?
It's really
okay. Now he's going to talk about Candace Owens again without saying Candace Owens' name.
Exposing people by name that are saying certain things. I'm trying to avoid that, right? Because I want it to be about substance. I don't want to attack people specifically as individuals. But going all in is like, I have to address if you are someone I don't want to talk about or not, I have to put that aside and address the issues point by point. And I'm trying to avoid that. I think I can get away with avoiding that because I have people that are dear to my heart that I don't want drama with. I just want to talk about the issues. And because there's so much misinformation out there that it's really hurting. It could hurt this case, because when you are putting content out, and the plethora of people who are putting content out, and you're getting hundreds of millions of views on this content, you're potentially tainting the jury pool, because everybody in America is paying attention to this case. Everybody in America has had some exposure to something. And if you are out here pushing an agenda or pushing a scenario where the FBI is involved and there's reasonable doubt, what jury are you going to be able to get that's still impartial?
But isn't he pushing an agenda? Isn't he promoting a scenario that the FBI isn't involved, that there is no foul play, that Tyler Robinson is the shooter, that he didn't break down the firearm, that he walked up onto the roof with a fully intact firearm and came off the roof when there is no evidence to pin Tyler Robinson to the crime? Isn't he affecting the jury pool?
Having a subconscious thought about impropriety. And you don't want that to happen, because you get somebody who get on the jury pool and they just say, no matter what, he didn't do it, because they're convinced through the information they've seen online.
How about somebody that gets on the jury pool that says, no matter what, he did do it, because I listened to Brandon Tatum and I listen to the FBI, and I listen to TPUSA. Tyler Robinson is definitely guilty. This guy is the best I've seen at unwittingly arguing against himself.
You get one juror, and you get one jury that dissented, and you get a hung jury. And this person who possibly killed Charlie will be able to get off scot-free.
This person who probably didn't kill Charlie may spend the rest of his life in jail.
Or asking people to release information, or release evidence. Asking Turning Point to release evidence, whomever is doing the request, is the most nonsensical thing that you can ever say in your life.
Whoever, gosh, I don't know who's asking TPUSA to release the tapes, release the evidence. Gosh, that wouldn't be Candace Owens, your good friend. Would it be Brandon?
You're asking to defy an investigation, because obviously the FBI has all of that content. You're asking them to defy an investigation, and them being witnesses and them having access to evidence, defy what they've probably been demanded to do by the FBI, to put out content online that could be used in the criminal court proceeding. And if you begin to expose or taint evidence, it may be inadmissible in court. Because if the evidence is tainted or is somehow not legitimized, the defense can say, we want to strike this down as inadmissible. This evidence has been manipulated, or whatever the case may be, it's been compromised. The prosecution has let regular citizens see this information before the defense has been able to see it. And they're saying it's unfair. We didn't have a chance to prepare for this, and you put it out in the public, and the defense didn't have a chance to combat it. We want to strike this evidence as inadmissible in court. And a judge may say, okay, the prosecution leaked information, and that's not admissible in this court proceeding.
Tatum does more rambling here that we're not going to listen to, but the bottom line is that Brandon Soften Him Up Tatum says that he has insider information that they did the autopsy, that they found the bullet. He's trying to accumulate and acquire more wealth for a multi-millionaire Erica Kirk. He says the FBI said, oh, they backed up on that. He disassembled the weapon, then assembled it. And he says if he needs to, he's going to go ahead and call out names, but he'd prefer not to. And the name that we're talking about is Candace Owens, who, as far as I knew, were still good friends with each other. So leave your thoughts about this for the world and the global thought police in the comments section below. I really appreciate you joining. If you want to support this channel, you can do it for free. Just like this video, share this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification icon, and I will see you in the next one.